win here right now.
I thought he did a great job. He came out aggressive in that first half, and obviously Eric Paschal was a huge part of that second unit as well. It was a move that, again, it's early in the season, so we're just trying to look at a lot of different things, and it worked out, and we'll probably do it again next game.
Steve, to follow up on Oubre, you've been so confident all along that he would find his way. Is this the kind of game that you think can really turn him in the right direction now moving forward for the season?
I hope so. I mean, I think he's been good for us. He's dogging the ball up and down the floor. He really plays with energy defensively, especially on the ball, and that's been one of the main things we've been looking for him with Clay out. That relieves Steph of a lot of duties defensively, and that frees Steph up to expend his energy, on offense. So Kelly's already been good for us in a lot of ways. It's just that he struggled with his shot, and everybody's locked in on his shooting percentage from three. But I think there's no question it's been bothering him. He's been frustrated, and I know in the locker room, great, and he should, because he just played a hell of a game.
Steve, you mentioned that you flip-flopped Wiggins and Oubre's roles. It kind of seems like you did that early on defense, too. You had Wiggins guarding the point guard and Oubre guarding LeBron. What kind of went into that?
Well, we know how important Schroeder is to their offense, and we figured let's put Andrew on the ball and let Kelly pick up LeBron full court when LeBron was going to handle. And so we liked the length on Schroeder, and we liked Kelly's willingness to pick up full court. Now Schroeder really got going, and it wasn't based on Andrew's defense. It was based on our team defense. We just couldn't keep him out of the lane. But again, I mean, the thing that we are trying to establish as a team is that we're going to be good defensively. So I know everybody's focused on the offense and, getting more shooters on the floor and everything, but, we're trying to be a good defensive team first. And Andrew and Kelly, with their length and athleticism, should be two of our best defenders. And that's why we're continuing to go the way we're going. But it's still early, and we've got to tinker, and we got to find the rotations that make the most sense.
Hi, Steve. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Against that team on that court and against the current sixth man of the year, was that a statement game for Eric Paschal?
I don't know. I mean, Eric has been doing this all season. So I guess the fact that this was a national TV game and a lot of people were watching, maybe some people who didn't notice Eric before are going to notice, but this has been what he's done now all season long. He's having a fantastic early part of the season for us. He's really solidified his role, and he's given that second group a lot of punch.
Steve, Chris Alvarez from ABC7. You talk about building an identity. You have two big comeback wins against arguably two of the best teams in the league. How does that go towards what you guys are trying to do as a foundation?
Well, I think the whole thing tonight, the lesson is that we have to scrap. I didn't think we scrapped in the first half. I didn't think we competed, and we did that in the second half. The whole half, guys were flying around. Everybody who came in off the bench did a great job. So I just think it was a good lesson for our team that if we compete and defend at a high level, we've got a chance to beat anybody.
What did you think about James Knight? I think he had 5 fouls in 13 minutes.
James struggled tonight. Obviously that's the best team in the league over there, playing with Gasol and Davis. Davis is one of the best bigs in the league. Gasol's been doing this forever, and so it was a tough night for James. But there are going to be nights like this early in his career. He just has a lot to learn. I love how he's handling things. He listens. He absorbs coaching. He's competitive. After that fifth foul, he went over to the bench and he slammed his hand into the water cooler or something. I don't know what it was. I heard it. I turned to Mike Brown. I said, I love that. I love that. That's what you want. You don't want somebody who doesn't care. So James cares, but he's just a kid, and this is a tough league. It's difficult lessons out there, but he's learning them, and he's growing every day, and he's gonna have a brilliant career ahead of him.
All right, Steve Kerr obviously pleased with some of the play, especially Draymond Green there. Kelly Oubre Jr. also talked about Wiseman and the frustrating parts about his game right now. We'll get to that in just a second. But his reaction to what Draymond Green, he said he saw the Draymond of old tonight. You look at his stat sheet here, it's not pretty. The plus-minus at one point was minus 30. But 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and Draymond Green did make plays down the stretch for this team.
He definitely made plays. He got a lot of guys involved. He had 9 helpers. So when a guy could get 9 assists as a point forward, that's always a big boost. I like that he was looking for a shot. He knocked down a 3 tonight. He shot 2 of them. Yep. 2 big plays at the end of the game. So when he's playing like that, he's being aggressive, looking at the rim and looking at the basket. I think he's a different player. So if he can continue to look for his offense while he's playmaking and looking for his guys, it's a different team.
No doubt.
I thought he picked his spots beautifully, and he made 2 of the biggest shots of the game. The two plays in the paint. Yep. One layup, and then the one left-handed scoop shot off the double teams on Steph. But again, 7 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. That sounds like Draymond. I think what's really important is when he's out of the game, the bench is either building a lead, maintaining a lead, right? So when he comes back in crunch time, he can just come in and make the right plays. And tonight, it did look similar to what we're used to seeing, where Steph gets doubled, right. Draymond handles, and either scores it or makes the right decision.
Yeah, and he made some big-time decisions there late in the fourth quarter with 2 layups here. Here's Draymond Green on the podium here talking about tonight's win against the L.A. Lakers.
I mean, we want to scrap and claw. As we've discussed, that has to be our MO this year. But I think, most importantly, we spoke about being great on the defensive end. And, down the stretch, in order to make that comeback, you have to put stops together. And it started with our second unit, they're starting us off and getting the run going. And then from there, we were able to come back in and continue on with that momentum.
How much of an identity is that second unit building? I mean, they've been really good for you guys in several games recently.
It's kind of getting to the point now where you expect them to be good. You're depending on them to be good. They've been fantastic all year. And it's becoming a staple of this team. We talk about other teams' second unit. We talk about the Lakers' second unit and how much of a push they give them, the Clippers' second unit. And, I think if this unit can continue to play well, they'll put themselves in that category. But, we need them to continue to play like that. It's been great for us.
Hi, Draymond. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Steve just said that he knows at some point your offense will get to the point you wanted it to be. 3-pointer today, a couple of layups. Where do you think your offense is right now, and where do you want it to be?
I just have to stay aggressive. And as I continue to play more and more aggressive, it'll be theirs. It's not something I really think too much about, to be honest with you.
Draymond, what did you think of Kelly's impact tonight?
He was great. He was great on both sides of the ball, especially during that second half. He was amazing defensively. And the entire game, he was great offensively. He's really finding his confidence. He's finding his way on this team. He's knocking shots down now, which is huge. But he's also slashing in the lane more. I think that's been great for him. He's getting to the basket, and it's not like, he's getting there with just someone helping him. He's putting his head down and getting to the cup. So, huge game for us tonight. We need him to continue to build on that.
Draymond, how do you help this?
Marcus Thompson.
What's up, sir? How do you help James Wiseman not let this be a problem? Like the struggles he had tonight, you can see him getting frustrated. How do you not make that build up on him in a bad way?
Just continue to teach him. I think we all know, at times it gets frustrating. When the game's not going your way. I can only imagine how frustrating it can be for a 19-year-old who hasn't really been through much in life at all, And so, he'll be fine. No, nobody's really worried about it. It's just the game needs to slow down for him. He has to slow down. And that'll happen over time. I don't think that happened for anyone as fast as we all want it to happen for him. But, it'll happen. He just got to stay the course, continue to stay aggressive. That's the most important thing, I think, for me. I just want him to stay aggressive, because the reality is if he stays aggressive, he'll learn how to read when someone's setting up for a charge. He'll learn how to read when a guy is pulling over from the weak side and he's there to take the charge, or the Marc Gasol one where he kind of knew the entire time he was taking the charge. He'll start to see those pictures. And so most importantly, I just want him to stay aggressive. He'll figure out the rest of it later.